Hey guys, hope you guys are having a solid day. As promised, I am putting together this trade review, hoping to keep this under 5 minutes here. So today, you know what? Honestly, I first and foremost I want to start off with the fact saying that I didn't start the day that way that I wanted to. I actually had myself ready, recorded. It was 6:25 Pacific Standard Time, 5 minutes before market open. I was recording my thoughts, everything. I was prepared to trade with my live account today because I just got it activated with my fund of future. So I was pumped. I was ready to go. Not knowing that the moment I attempted to take my trade, it rejected my orders multiple times. I realize now that they had not set up my account properly and it should be resolved now, but it wasn't a great start. I was so pumped to talk about how I was going to take my first trade on my live account and how I was going to be, able to, bag my first trade, my first, same day withdrawal, all of that stuff. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, right? So I am a little tilted on that one, and I'm highlighting that because I want to share my, genuine transparent psychology around this, right? Because already in my mind, I'm thinking, well, now, yes, my live account is fixed, but no matter what I do next with my trade with the live account, I'm going to have this lingering thought that I missed out on a massive trade today on a live account. And so that's going to bother me. So I don't know how yet I'm going to take it. I don't know if I'm going to trade it at all tomorrow during the New York session, or I might skip a couple of days. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But just want to put it out there. That's just something that is, mentally going to bother me for a little while. But nevertheless, I still managed to catch the trade. The trade that I caught with it today was actually using my Fund of Futures competition account. And so for those who don't know, my Fund of Futures currently has a competition for the month of March. There are rules in play, starting off with a $10,000 balance, one contract maximum with one NQ or 10 mini or 10 micros, sorry, and so on and so forth. The list goes on. So I was like, okay, you know what? If I can't capture on that one, at least capture on this account. Now, the reason why I still sound disappointed is because honestly, unless I actually win the competition, it almost feels like the trade that I captured it was kind of wasted. And I don't want to sound ungrateful, right? But I don't know if I'm planning on trading this competition account throughout the entire month because I am going to prioritize my funded accounts, right? In my live account. So we'll see what we do with it. But nevertheless, I'm going to dive straight into this right now. I've been given feedback that my videos have been a little too wide and it's been hard to see. And it is because my main screen is a wider, I think this is a 32-inch monitor. So hopefully the recording that I'm doing right now reflects better because I have kind of formatted this so the screen's a little bit half the size. So I'm hoping this shows better, okay? So what we have here, I want to talk about my entry, my exit, the plan around all of it, right? So I screenshotted here a message that put on Discord. So at 6:26 a.m., I was watching a few things here. I was watching the 20490 channel, and I was watching to see if we would come. Basically, it was up here. Um, oops, sorry. I want to see if we were gonna either come back all the way up or whether or not we were gonna come all the way back down. So you see, that's the upper channel that I highlighted, right? The other area that I was watching for was this channel right here with this mastermind level, 267. And then the other one is if we did come down, I was looking for us to tag all the way down to either the 20050 or the 2126 level, which is what I was kind of looking for, right? And so this is within the channel that we were kind of playing within. Those who've been following know that for me, when I'm taking a trade, what I would consider as, kind of an A plus, a bit of the criteria, I should say, is when a mastermind level and a channel come together at the same time. And so my entry today technically was not A plus. Because for me, an A plus would have meant that I would have found a level up on the upper area and I would have taken that with a channel at the same time. So even if this was my live account or another funded account, I probably wouldn't have gone more than one contract, right? Because of the setup. If it was A plus, I would have taken two cons, maybe even three. And so to let you guys know what was initially on my mind, right? So when the market opened, this is the New York opening print. You saw that we came down. And what did we test? We tested the mastermind level and the channel. As I said, that is one of those A plus setups that I genuinely will look for. So that's when I was trying to enter a trade and it was rejecting on me. So I was trying to go two contracts on my live, didn't work. kept rejecting. But you know what? This would have been an absolute banger trade because even from here as an entry, if you didn't catch the wick, say you take the second candle after the failure to go lower, that's 296 all the way to uh 400. So that's a 100 point move. So if that was on, if that was on two contracts, that's $4,000 right off the gates, right? And I would have been more than happy. If that was a live funded, I would have been more than happy to take it. And the reason why I would have sold it there and I wouldn't have waited for this candle to come up is because we would have been nearing such a close spot to the channel, the VWAP, but also because we had already rejected this once during pre-market. So I'm already cognizant that that's an area that I should be worried about. So again, that's was the original plan. That's why I was watching, as I mentioned here in the Discord, that I was looking for the bounce of the level to get that. Now, since I didn't get that, during the time, this 6 minute period, while it was doing its thing and I couldn't enter a trade, I switched over to my competition account. And I said, you know what? The next trade that I would have taken would have been a short trade. And so why did I take the short entry here? So I'm going to, so delete that. I'm going to zoom this out so that you can kind of see this a little bit more. I entered on this candle. And as you can see what that candle is, it's this candle right here. That's the candle that I entered off of. And so the same candle that I would have exited my longs at is kind of where I entered my short. Now, I went for one contract, right? And so my reasoning for this is because, as I mentioned, we had rejected this area during the pre-market already. We have relative weakness on the market itself. So I'm obviously going to have a short bias in that regard. When this candle came up and rejected and came back down, it definitely gave me more conviction to hold. Reason being is that we saw a flip of support to resistance during from the Asia session coming in here. Now, there are a couple times where I was getting a little uneasy. This move coming down here, this move right here was already a $2,000 trade on single contract, right? And so we did that a couple of times. So I was getting a little bit, I mean, a part of me when it was coming back up, I was telling myself, oh man, should I have just taken profit and called it there and then? And arguably, you probably could have scalped it back and forth. But the reality is that it's unlikely that I would have done that. That's just not how I trade. So watching the trade go from the best drawdown was like down maybe like 10 points or whatever it may be, coming down by 100 points just to watch it come back to break even. I'll tell you right now, that's not easy to swallow. The only thing that kept me focused on the plan was because we continued to respect VWAP. We continued to put lower highs in. We held and closed below the mastermind level of 2375, and we continued to put lower highs in. I mentioned during this period of time when I was managing this trade that all I wanted to see happen was for us to break and close below the 2267, and I'd be more than happy and content to hold the trade all the way through. And throughout the trade, as we were moving down, I was inching my stop loss down. Basically, the first stop loss that I moved this down on, I was hovering about just above the 2267. So for me, as this trade came down, my risk was if it were to come back against me, at least I would bank a $2,000 stop loss profit, which I would have been more than content to walk away at that point. Because if it would have taken this out, all of the support that we felt in the morning, if we took that out with a failure to go or candle, I would have been like, I'm going to walk away. Because then at that point, I would say that I can't really read what's happening here and I don't want to risk anymore. Now, we did continue to move our way down. And as we continued to come down, what gave me more conviction was when we came back up another lower high here, right beneath the channel. Again, channel and mastermind level is kind of what I'm looking for again, right? At this point in time, once we rejected that and came back down, I moved the stop loss actually down to this channel area here. At this point in time, this stop loss was worth about $3,000 to me already at this point. So I was just letting this do its thing as it worked its way down, and I was able to hit my target that I was looking for, as I shared in my story already, right? This trade right here is my strongest trade I've ever taken over one session. And I did that with one contract, right? And so I think to take away here, why I'm making that comment, yes, my biggest trade in theory was about 330 points before, but that was an overnight swing from Asia over to London, and I trimmed off the New York Open, and then I closed out the last contract midway through the New York session. That was technically my biggest trade. Now, I posted that on my Instagram like months ago. I can't remember when that was anymore, but this is my single biggest trade ever taken by points and in one session. So between That time was that when I entered that stage, 6:36 Pacific Standard Time, all the way to 7:18. I mean, in like 40 minutes, one contract, 5 grand. Absolute banger trade. I don't have the expectation to replicate this all the time. And I think that it's so important for those who are learning and getting to this journey that you're not going to catch those every day. They're not going to always be there, right? They will come and go. So the mindset of abundance that there will be other trades and there will be other moves. That's a mindset we need to make sure we keep in mind. But I think myself is expectation is going into tomorrow. I'm not looking to capture another 270 point trade, which is essentially what I took, right? I'm not looking to get that again tomorrow. I will let the charts tell me what makes the most sense for tomorrow's trade, but it's so important that when we have days like today, that we don't let that seep into the following day, because that's tend to, what you'll end up potentially doing dumb stuff, right? So, anyways, that was kind of like the entry point. And sorry, just before I kind of finish off here, the reason why I also was targeting this, and even in my Discord messages there, I messaged in my notes there that I said that although I'm looking to come down to the 2005 area, I don't want to be a prick for a tick. Um, and so honestly, if I was to breach into this channel, the first level would have been more than enough. And even then, I actually didn't use this level as my selling point. I actually sold somewhere up here because I didn't want to risk this reversing against me because I know that would have bothered me a lot, even though, yes, I had my stop loss. I said it would have been risk off, would have been 3 grand. But to watch a position go from 5 grand to 3 grand, it kind of sucks, to be honest. So I did have to kind of keep that conscious in mind. I didn't want to get any more greedy than I needed to be. The plan was always to come down this level and channel, and I got that. So I closed my position out. You can see throughout the day, we respected this area quite a bit. The next best trade would have been, and obviously at this point in time, I was already at work, so I didn't take this trade. But the whether you caught the double bottom here and took this trade, which would have been 123 to what, 218, that's still about a 70 point move here. Or even if you want to cut it halfway through, still would have been a 40 point trade, right? That would have been pretty solid. But that triple bottom here for longs was the trade to take because we made a level to level to level move and channeled the channel move. And so if you caught this, again, don't spend too much time fantasizing about what could have been because that's not the point. Backtest your strategy to see if your strategy would have even caught this in the first place. Those who follow me know I'm big on double bottoms, double tops, triple bottoms, triple tops. Big thing for me, right? So this trade, even if I didn't catch it here, maybe I caught it up here, 171 to up to this channel, 455. That's a 300 point trade. That would have been another banger trade from level to level. Again, great opportunities if anyone did manage to catch that today. But all in all, that was kind of the reason why. That's why I took the trade. There's with the tariff news and all of that, there's going to be a lot of volatility. I'm expecting a lot of volatility tonight during the late Asia session and the London session. I don't know if I'm going to trade just yet. We'll see. But anyways, I hope that added value. As always, please like the video. It means a lot. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the video as well. It does help me broaden my channel and broaden my reach to the people out there because I do want to share my trading journey with as many people as I can, especially since I'm still a small fry in the big trading arena of different traders out there, right? And so if there's any questions and comments, drop a comment below. I'd be more than happy to answer them and maybe you have ideas of what you want to see on my next video. I'll definitely put that on the list. But anyways, until next time, thanks guys.